I've been experiencing since COVID a lot of self-isolation. So before I got connected with this community, I was more to myself, not wanting to go out.
The day-to-day before my current community looked a lot like making shallow connections with people that I had just known more proximity-wise, as in with like work or people I'd met in the community that unfortunately didn't have a lasting connection with. Didn't really talk to anyone. I had like 2 friends. And I would just stay at home and write and read.
I don't, you know, want to leave my house ever. I just always inside.
And so I feel like falling into this community of reading and writing, we also have like not only hobbies that we share, but also similar values. And so it's been able to be a community that I can be a part of for longer than just like a fleeting connection.
The moment I decided to start RVA Readers and Writers came probably hours after I first made a Threads post about it. I posted just asking if anyone in the Richmond area was interested in starting a book club or having a reading writing group. And I was really surprised that I got a response, and then particularly surprised that I got a response from a wide variety of people. And that was when I realized I had a really cool opportunity to start something that was more than just a niche book club, to start something that brought people together who had a shared love of words and maybe nothing else in common.
Think about a calendar year. What shape is it? Or how does it look in your head?
I guess kind of like a circle.
Yes.
Is it a complete circle?
Yes.
No.
Is yours a spiral?
No. What is yours like? Don't look at mine.
I initially was under the impression that I am a night owl, and the 6 a.m. time, I was like, absolutely dreading it. But I was like, it's going to be worth it. If I drag my feet up in the morning and I'm like, I'm going to get a cup of coffee, it's like a little reward, then like I can make the adjustment in my schedule to be there at 6 in the morning. And like my entire sleep routine has changed because of this group. Like I'm no longer staying up as late, and I'm waking up a little bit earlier. And I think, there's something nice about that, where like I'm able to wake up and be creative in the morning and go for a little walk. And I have a whole day before I start my day now. And I didn't realize how pleasant that is, and how much being up and at it in the morning like really does make a difference. People were right when they said that.
Always, every time I walk in with my bike helmet, this is so embarrassing to admit, but I always leave my helmet on until I come in and open through the door, and then I take it off for dramatic effect.
I love that.
One thing that I discovered about myself outside of the club by showing up was the fact that I'm a lot more brave than I thought I was. Coming into a new space, especially as a person with disability in a very ableist world, you never know what you're going to meet. And so showing up and being in that brave space and being able to consistently show up and meet people who are amazing and inclusive has been a really big benefit for me. And it's shown me exactly how brave I am.
I think that what I've discovered about myself via this club outside of it is actually that I can be more disciplined than I thought I was initially. My time management skills are incredibly poor as somebody with autism and ADHD. So like carving myself out time to like in the morning to get a cup of coffee, be with friends, communicate, and like have creative time to center myself keeps me focused for the rest of the day. And I find that now that I'm here, that I'm able to like have a routine and a pattern, and my week is more predictable in a way that keeps me grounded.
The message behind RVA Readers and Writers is that we best experience literature in community. So there's something to be said for curling up with a good book or writing by yourself, but we always have perspectives that are gained when we do those things alongside people who are nothing like us. So one of the big parts of that message is that I want anyone to be welcome and anyone to feel comfortable with whatever it is that they're interested in.
Yeah, I think what I discovered about myself through coming to the Writers Club was that a lot of the challenges I was facing were universal. There's a lot of imposter syndrome that happens when you're doing a hobby that's super isolated.
And now like putting myself out there with writing. So it's something that I've always done on the side and hadn't really talked much about. There's like a lot of writers, we do it alone. And it's more of a like a nervous thing to share.
Because you just can't really gauge how well you're doing or like what other people are facing. So coming to the group really helped me learn that everybody has the same issues and like everyone is trying to overcome the same obstacles.
But being a part of a group, it makes me feel like I can open up more and get more advice and more help from other people, and then also learn from them as well.
So that really helped me get over a lot of imposter syndrome just by knowing that there's a community of people that are going through the same thing.
When people walk into any sort of RVA Readers and Writers Club for the first time, I think there's about half the people who feel uncomfortable and half the people who came in with no amount of anxiety. And I think 95% of people who leave very, very happy and without the anxiety that they walked in with. I work really hard to make sure that people feel welcome. And part of that is all the communication that happens before they even show up to the event. And I think that really helps lessen anxiety when people leave.
Self-isolation, especially when it comes to living as a person with a disability, is something that is so difficult and dangerous. People get locked into the idea that there aren't spaces for them, that they can't do things because the world isn't inclusive enough or accessible enough. And the reality is, it's not going to be a lot of the time. And stepping into that brave space and finding a way to make it work. You know, this space that we're in today, it's not the most accessible. There's no curb cut. There's a cobbled path. There is no accessible parking. But by finding a community who supports you and helps you to make things work, you're a lot more able to be part of something and not feel so alone.
Now that I've joined this group, self-isolation, I just think of it more a sad thing. I used to think being alone, you could learn so much about yourself, which is true. I just don't view it as a positive thing anymore. I think it can be important, but I think what we need to do is be more with community, especially like people our own age, and learn from them.
I view self-isolation as something that can be a negative thing when it comes to your mental health. I think one of the things that we're lacking in these spaces in post-grad life and even just here in America is like third spaces and community.
It's easy to start getting down on yourself when you're alone because you start thinking like, oh man, I'm the only one going through this. I'm the only one struggling. And it's just not true. I think community really helps you to have context in the wider world about what you're going through.
And I think that as Americans and just like graduating college and being away from that life, we tend to self-isolate more. And so just adding that community in a way that makes sense and is a safe space for everyone is great.
There's just not a lot of groups out there that can get people going, and I think it's important to have groups like this for people to communicate and talk to each other, because we are social creatures at the end of the day. And like now that I have this, like I loathe being by myself because I know that I can just like, oh, if I can text a group and show up in the morning and be here with everybody, then like I'm gonna feel a little bit better about myself. And I couldn't imagine my life without this community anymore. And I wish that more people had something like this to show up for and feel part of the community.
When communities like mine don't exist, especially communities that are accessible and inclusive, it means that there is a much greater chance of people being isolated and not having access to people who help them feel whole and help them feel safe. In a world as dangerous and crazy as ours is right now, especially regarding things like accessibility and inclusivity, it's very, very dangerous to think about a world where that inclusive and community space doesn't exist. The world looks very, very differently when these spaces are removed.
We are not engaging with people in our communities in the same way that once we did. And there's something to be said for the amount of time that it takes to read something, even just a novella, something short, to get in someone else's mind, to get in someone else's shoes. That takes a lot more than a 90-second reel that your friend sends you. And being willing to listen beyond just the first instance of, judging the book by its cover or the first 10 seconds of a video. I think that without groups like this that are willing to take the time to have those longer conversations to learn about their community, we lose a lot of what makes us very interwoven and diverse and willing to understand each other despite and because of those differences.
Oh, right, sorry. I put it on the wrong side.
No space, all one word. It's a fun one.
I have needed this.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it.